Hello, hello, rock stars. I am so excited for the guest that I have coming on today. I met him back in 2021, and he is just such an extraordinary soul. He literally speaks on stage to, thousands of people, but he's impacted over 50 million people. And so tell me what's one thing that you guys, as he's coming in here, tell me what's one thing that you would want to heal in your life, because it is going to be possible today when we're speaking with Garry. He's going to give you things that you can do on this live stream today that you can actually do. And let me just go ahead and bring him in here.
Hey, Carolyn.
Hi, we did
Long
it.
time no talk. How are you?
I am amazing. How are you? I was just telling everybody that by the end of this podcast, their lives would be so changed. And I know the first time I spoke with you back in, I think it was 2021 when we first connected.
Yeah.
And I never forget. I mean, it was something so simple. I even took your call in the back of my car, and it was this move. And I just started to sob. And I was like, what the hell is happening to me? And I was like, this guy is really special. It's not just about the fascia moves that you're doing. It's something energetically in the field when we're in your space, whether it's online, on video, in person. I feel like there's just a field of energy, and I could not be more excited to share you with my audience. As you guys know, we've had so many extraordinary, gurus, speakers, top people, and Garry is one of the people I'm most excited to bring on. I got off some of my medicines that I was on for a really long time with Garry's guidance, but not just that. I feel like just with your fascia moves, they've changed my life so much. So with that, please help me welcome Garry to our podcast, Heal on Purpose. Garry, thank you so much for being here with us.
Wow, this is the first time I've been live in such a long time. I used to go live 5 days a week, and I haven't been live in over a year, so this has been interesting. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's incredible. Yeah, you were actually just on stage at Mind Valley, yes? You've been
Yeah.
traveling all over.
Yeah. Yeah, the world's been really, really crazy. And I remember that. I remember talking to you in 2021.
It was so impactful. So first of all, some of my audience isn't going to know what it is that you do, and that has impacted over 50 million people, right? 50
I
million
think
people.
I think it would be we use that number because it's hard to really say. Most people they learn something, they practice it a couple times, they use it for their life, and they share it with other people. We've had over 1 billion views. When we say 50 million, it's like we know that over 100 million downloads in colleges and universities. Sorry, 200 million downloads in colleges and universities to do one movement to relieve stress and impact. And I'm pretty sure that all of those kids are still using it because they downloaded it to relieve panic attacks. And so it's really hard to say what the true number is, but we have over 5 million on socials and platforms. We have tens of millions of people around the world, and we're growing by the best we can figure about 1 million to 1.5 million a month, because most people learn something and then they share it with somebody else. So those are still people impacted doing fascial maneuvers. We just don't have the measurement.
That is incredible. And just so like these are your fascia movements that you created, because there's all different types of fascia movements, but I find the ones that you're doing in particular are so impactful. Did you create these movements, like know and like practice with your clients and know how they work and shift, because you've been doing this so many years?
Well, there was a there's a learning about how to work with fascia at the clinic in Los Angeles. We were progressively learning how to work with fascia, and we learned new things along the way. And one day we had a breakthrough in 2018. It was the ability to twist the skin and create an impact around the joints, and that was the start of practitioner-driven fascial maneuvers.
Mm.
But during the pandemic, when we couldn't get any care ourselves, we had to figure out how to help ourselves. And it was like, how do I do to myself what was done on a table? And I, like to say that I created these would be, I mean, fascial maneuvers are uh, they're way they have way more impact than anything that I could create myself.
Mm,
This is something, the reason why it was free to the world is because as I was going through the journey of uncovering these or remembering these or however you want to call it, the agreement I had with source or creator or God or whatever you want to say was that the ability to help yourself would be free forever. And we've spent, the last 6 years learning how to keep it free. Today, keeping it free costs us $500,000 a month. And
wow.
and because as it gets bigger and bigger, you need infrastructure and people and stuff like that. So found ways to fund ourselves through supplements and through events and through, well, actually events haven't funded. We spent $6 million last year on events, which actually was money that we could have had as profit, but we kept it and put it back out. But things like coaching programs, which we just now released. So people that are yoga practitioners or coaches or movement coaches or success coaches or whatever are now starting to collect. You think about it this way, we've got roughly 50 million people practicing that we can count, and that's growing fast.
Wow.
And today we just launched our coaching program. We only have 1,000 coaches. We by the end of next year we'll have 15 to 20,000, and that still won't even begin to cover the demand. Like this is the single largest growing, fastest growing self-care movement on the planet. And what we're trying to do is now get people that are knowledgeable enough to help other people.
Hmm. Oh, I love that so much. And I know for me, I did before I started all of this, I think I did like talk therapy for a lot of years. And talk therapy was okay, but it only got me so far. When we talk
Sure.
about, changing your beliefs and all of those things. It did help me. I quit smoking like that and I did a lot of wonderful things with some of the techniques. But the fascia really got down to my stored emotions that I didn't even know were there. So my question to you is this, because some people, especially my audience, they might not even know about this fascia work or how impactful it is. So why is it that when you go into the fascia, when you go into the tissues, you can get to the stored trauma and you can get to things that are, buried and unconscious? How is that possible?
Well, I think you have to reimagine or rethink about what a body is. Like, well, I asked this to doctors all over the world. I said, they talk about conscious and subconscious. I said, where in the body does subconscious exist? Is it in your brain? So the body, technically, the body is your subconscious, but even further, the area around you is subconscious. That all of the field around you is your subconscious, and that radiates to the body, and you become consciously aware of that connection of that radiation. So subconscious is patterns you experience as patterns in your body that come up over time because you're not constantly aware. You're not walking around with all these subconscious thoughts agitating you. So the idea of subconscious, and this is the most misunderstood topic. You take 10,000 doctors and ask them where the subconscious, they'll actually refer to some part of the brain. So subconscious is in the body. That's the best way that you would experience it. And it's all the memories, thoughts, feelings, and patterns that that drive you and drive your behavior. And so when you do talk therapy, so you have what the reason why you do talk therapy is there's some sort of trauma, something that you want to resolve. So there is a trauma, which is an insult. It's an action, it's an event, it's a situation, whether it's physical, emotional, perceptual. It's something that hurt, shocked you, or hurt you. Then you have, alongside of that, you have an emotion attached to it: anger, fear, shame, guilt, something. And then along that is you have a narrative or a story that you tell yourself about it. When you do talk therapy, you're at the story level, you're trying to tell yourself a new story, which helps. But that still has to impact an emotion. And sometimes it can get to an emotion, sometimes. But quite often it's very clinical and distilled, and you never get that conversation into the emotion. And then it still has to go into where it impacted in your body. So there is a memory, or you have to remember it. Now, I'll explain memory in a different way. If I was to say dismember, dismember is only typically used in one form. It's to cut up the body, dismember you. So to remember, it's to put the pieces and the body back together. You
Mm,
remember, and then you recall, and then you observe it. So you have to have the trilogy or the triangle. You have to have the impact, which is in the body, whatever it was, because even if it was somebody told you something, you feel it in your body. You have to have that impact. You have to have the emotion. You have to have the narrative together in a triangle. And then once you can observe that situation, you can tell a new story. It changes the emotion, and then the body releases something.
mm,
That's why fascial maneuvers work, because it actually uses triangle patterns in the body that help the body resolve the memory in the body that allows the emotions and to come up. Then you can start to address the narrative, because it's the feeling of it. Like if you had an impact, like you were, like you say, raped,
hmm.
you had an impact and you remember it, but you don't want to remember it, so you shut it down.
Yes.
Well, if you're doing a maneuver, triangulating your body, which fascial maneuvers do, and then that the memory comes up, but it's in a safe way, then you go, oh yeah, that was bad, but this and this and this, you get to tell or observe it coming up in your body, not in a frightening way, because your body feels safe. And if your body feels safe, then you can release the trauma.
Wow. Oh my God. I feel like I need to watch this again and take notes. I got my pen and my paper here. I've never really heard anyone explain it the way that you just explained it, but that
That's
makes,
because, hey, Carolyn, that's because I don't see the body the same way other people see it.
mm,
Yeah, we're taught that the brain is in charge of the body.
yeah.
We're taught that the brain is in control of the body. And in my way of seeing it, and my belief system, the way I view it, there's nothing further from the truth.
Mm. I don't know if anybody else is watching, but I'm having emotions coming up just in conversation with you, Gary, because it's like the things that, you know, my sister and I were joking, and I was telling her how I was feeling the other day, and she's like, you know what I think you should do with that? Just bottle that and push it way, way down there where it's never found again. And we laughed about it, but fashion removers is kind of what unlocks that. Like the shame around it, or hey, I shouldn't be feeling like this, or those emotions that might come up. So for people who do have trauma that they might not even know about, like some people, like some of my clients, they have trouble remembering their childhood. And so
Remembering.
mm,
You just said it. To remember is the opposite of dismember. It's to put all the pieces back together. And if
mm,
you have a physical adhesion in your fascia, a
yeah.
block, or you're dehydrated, your body can't put all the pieces back together. That's why mineralization, hydration, and flow in your body is important.
Absolutely, at 100%. And so for people, I know everyone in the world probably has stored trauma in their body, whether they know it or not. So what would be like the first step that someone who's brand new to this could start to do? Is it like they just start to connect with their body, or they just start the breath, or what would you say would be the best thing for them to do to start with this?
It's just, we have a 15-minute stress reset. And the reason why it's called a stress reset is because it takes the body out of stress.
Hmm.
Your body has to come out of stress. What stress is the opposite of presence.
Okay,
Stress is stress gets your attention.
got it.
That means your body's at tension. So when you relieve the tension in your body, it comes out of stress. And then when you take your body out of stress long enough, a couple times a day, even a small movement, like a single fascial maneuver, not even the 15-minute stress reset, even one maneuver, totally twisted anti-gravity, any one of them. And you do that multiple times a day, and you do that over 7 days, your body, it's a reset. You do it
Mm,
over 14 days, another one. 21 days, another one. 28 days, your entire nervous system starts to reset because it now believes that your generalized stress level is lower. When your stress is out, your attention is no longer on survival. And then you can actually put your attention on resolving issues that are in your system. The body is super complex and super simple at the same time. Your body will automatically relieve all stress and all trauma when it has the space to do so.
mm.
And we can't give it the space when it's at tension all day.
I love that so much. So is trauma being stored in the body, could that be the cause? Because I found this, but I'm sure you're going to explain it in an extraordinary way. Have you found that having trauma in the body can cause relationship dissonance or financial trouble or health issues? Like if someone is just, like you said, like stress is bringing your body like out of alignment and probably putting, your immune system suppressed, all of that stuff. So is there, and like, would you say that that's a reason if someone wanted to change their life and their finances and their health and their business and their relationships, would you say that these fascia maneuvers are like one of the keys to doing that?
If you're mad, Carolyn, you're a Leo. If you're
Yes,
mad,
I am a Leo. I'm
do
a
the
Leo.
people around you feel your Leoness? You're mad.
Oh, you know they do. You
So
will
yeah,
know
even
if
if
I'm
you don't
mad.
say a word when you're mad, people feel it, right? So when you have dysregulated energy in your body, when your body has dysregulated energy, what happens is you radiate that energy off and everybody responds to it. So all of your relationship issues, all of your functional issues, your relationship with money, your relationship with people, your relationship with marriage, your relationship with sex, your relationship with food changes when you have energy that's disrupted. So when you balance, and all disruption in energy is stress. When you take stress out of your body long enough, all of your relationships change. Every relationship with food, energy, with people, with situations, it all changes because stress takes you out of the ability. And it can be as simple as your partner doesn't actually see you, think that you're paying attention because you're at tension over here with the stress, and that
Mm,
stress is in your body. Or you have opportunities. The world, if you're all about manifestation, so that if you can manifest something, that means it already exists. You
yes.
just become aware of its existence. But if you're at tension over here, at tension, that's got all of your energy, so you can't see the opportunity.
Mm,
So when you get your body out of tension, you are able to see the opportunity, notice your partner, understand or understand something that's going on around you. It's all through the body, but we were taught that it's all through the brain, and that's why everybody's so messed up.
mm. Oh my God, I love that so much. I love that you said that people can feel your energy. Like I could say I'm fine, but you know that I'm
You're a
not
Leo. You
fine.
can't hide it.
I can't. You people, I wear my heart on my sleeve. You'll know if I'm angry. But that really makes a lot of sense to me. And I love what you said because it reminds me, okay, am I more present with my stress and my pain than I am with the person in front of me? Because then I'll miss opportunities that could be right before me.
They
Because
are everything. Every problem that you have, the way that the universe works is problems and solutions are created equally. They separate themselves, and it's your job to put them together. But you have to complete the circuitry to put them together. The body is what completes the circuitry. And when the body is out of flow, it can't complete circuitry. So your circuit can't make it with the problem and solution. And what this life is about, and all the success people want, is just creating a solution to a problem that exists.
explain more to that. I want to know because I have a lot of clients who are very wealthy and they, and I'm
But are they
very,
healthy?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
they
I have like my patients from clinical are billionaires,
yeah.
but they come to me because they would trade all their money, every bit of it, to feel good in their body.
Mm,
They're wealthy to me is feeling good in my body anywhere, anytime. It's it's feeling the way I want to feel, never feeling that pain or dysfunction, that shame, that guilt, that fear that something is going to be found out or done. That outweighs everything because I've had lots of money and I've had no money. And I can tell you that it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you think that somebody's going to find out something that you did or didn't do, or if somebody is going to learn your secret, you will crash. And everybody does. So it depends on what you say wealth is.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like tearing up here because I don't know if everyone's with me. I feel like I'm being healed in this moment. Maybe it's just my mind or my soul or my spirit, but it's so often that people think, oh, when they get the car or when they get the house or when they get the millions of dollars or when they get the husband or the wife, then they'll truly be happy. Then they can be at rest. But what you're saying is like the exact opposite. You're saying, you know, a sick man in the hospital only has one wish, and so you're basically saying that health has to be number one in someone's life, and from that place, that's where abundance manifestation, it tears me up because I see so many people in the world doing it backwards. They stress out about relationships, money, business, all of that stuff before they take care of what's most important.
Well, this is what people are going to do. It's because it's part of a journey, and it's okay if they're at that part of the journey.
Yeah.
Like it really is.
Yeah.
But at some point they're going to figure out that they want something else in their life.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So my question to you is this. So as someone is starting to heal and wanting to manifest like a gorgeous relationships, gorgeous life, all of these things, and they're getting rid of the stress in their body, when we're remembering, right? We're putting ourselves back together,
Yes.
remembering. What can
Yeah.
we do when really hard memories come up? Because I know for me, Gary, I was doing some stuff and I had a memory when I was 13 and I did not realize, like I shoved it, like I didn't remember it and then I did. And it was almost like I re-traumatized myself. Like a lot of emotion came out. So can you talk to a little bit about that? Like how when we're remembering, do we
Well,
not
your issue happened at 9 years old around boundaries.
mm, mhm. Yeah. Well, I remember that though.
Yeah, but that's where it all came from. That was your turning point. 9 years
Mhm.
old is when boundaries did. As well, protection is about taking action on boundaries, and it impacted the way that you act and show up in the world. That's what you're still trying to resolve.
Yes. Um, yes, that was a yes, I'm still working on resolving that 100%. It definitely
Well, that's
um
why we're talking today, Carolyn. I've known you for a long time.
you have. Oh, yes, and I've always felt my heart very open with you and very safe and yes. Yes, I remember that. And now I do try to set better boundaries. But what's interesting to me, Gary, I did not think we were going to have like a session here live. You must have been. No, I'm kidding. Okay, okay. So my question is this. Um, so as I'm healing this, though, I'm finding old energy, specifically because you're interesting. I actually have been working on this for the past month, and um, the one thing it's like some teenage energy coming up. It's strange. Like I'm 41 years old. I just turned 41, but some odd teenage energy is coming up within me. So can
Well,
you speak to that?
yeah. The So what happens is when you have a trauma like that,
Yeah.
you start you stop emotionally growing in relative to that trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and so that causes you to become very aggressive at protecting in your world.
Mm.
And now as you become you're active protector of people and situations and things. Fierce. You're a fierce Leo protecting what you believe and what you believe about things.
Yes.
And part of that is it's also drives into your ego, which is in Virgo. 13 degrees Virgo is your ego. And that is also why Jason, because 13 is Aquarius. So it's using Aquarius to try and fix your situation. Equality, fairness,
Mm.
compassion, space between the emotions.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jason is. Yes, he's very grounded. He's very, very loyal, very fair. Yes. So then what would one do? Because I know that I'm not the only one that has these traumatic things that they're healing. So,
But what's happening is wiring is get crossed. Like I didn't know that I was sexually abused until 53 years old.
wow. Are you
And
serious?
and then all of a sudden the wiring's connected and I'm like, whoa. But there was no anger.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of is, wow, what had to have happened to him to create that situation where he would do that to me? And so the only thing left at that 53 was compassion,
Mm,
because it came up when it was supposed to. I didn't force it up in a conversation with somebody. I
mm,
didn't talk about it. I didn't have somebody dig around and try to go, hey, and dig into there and try to psychically figure out where that trauma was. It
mm.
came up exactly when it was supposed to, when I was ready to, because when the body feels safe to release a trauma, it will release it, but not until then. The
Wow.
body is more infinitely stronger than your ability and our brains. Like our body knows when it can. And sometimes it feels like we're overwhelmed, but if we weren't able to do it, our body wouldn't let it happen.
Mm. So what you're saying is for people who really want to heal their trauma, because their trauma is directly related also to our outside current reality, right? So if we want to change our business, our relationships, our health, isn't it all connected to our trauma?
It's all it. This is all connected because what that we said earlier is your trauma is part of what you emit.
Mm,
You emit that as a radio beacon that goes out there, and the world and everybody in your life is trying to help you unconsciously or consciously. So
mm,
when you emit something and you're not listening to it, then somebody comes up and hurts you, so you can feel it. They
yes.
hurt you and they do something, like a narcissist comes in your life because you need it to be there so that you can feel it. So you finally go, oh, that's the feeling that I've been waiting for. And without that, you can't process it. And people are like, no, I'm trying to protect myself from all of these emotions, thoughts, people, and things. That's not how it works. I accepted 100% responsibility for everything that happens in my life, which means that if somebody stole something from me, somehow I drew that. If somebody hurt me, I drew that. If somebody ripped me off, I drew that. That's me. It's
Mm,
not them. Nobody's ever done anything to me. I've attracted everything so that I could be better as a person. And when I blame the outside world for all these things happening, I can't change my reality. All I can do is keep blaming.
mm,
And and look at I get it. Like I've had some my story. You guys want to talk trauma? I know there's people that have been traumatized, and it's not a measurement contest. But in my life and my story, I've had more trauma than 99.999% of the people out there.
yeah.
And and the way I found my way through it was to just accept that that was there for me. Instead of this happened to me, this happened for me. And when I say this happened for me, how is it that I become better because of this? And if I can see that right now, like in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, somewhere along the line, you will always see, no matter what it was good for you somehow. Even if it's the day you die, you will go, oh, that's what it was for. So if I can bring that today, so if it would take me 10 years to recognize that trauma is good for me, but I can ask the question today, how is this good for me? And I can find the answer. What I do is I collapse time. I
Mm,
collapse that 10 years that it would have taken, and I get that time back.
yes.
That's how you manifest.
Oh my God, laying it down. Are you guys picking up what he's laying down? I feel like saying, can I get an amen in the chat right now, Gary? Because I am feeling it. First of all, that's why I created the Heal on Purpose podcast, because I realized that our outside situations that are taking place is like God or universe turning up the heat so we can feel that. So it's like I was thinking, why not try to transform it as a matter of will through the fascia removers, through feeling safe and bring it up to the surface? But I 100% agree with the total responsibility that you're calling in everything into your life. And most people don't understand that. Now, someone asked a question. I would love to get your take on this. They said, what about when you're a child?
Really? So you think that all of this world, you just were born and that's when your life started, right? I came into this world perfecting experiences from past or other lives. So it didn't start here. Why do certain kids come out of this world talking and playing drums at 6 years old? Like that's not from this world. There
Yes.
has to be enough evidence around to know that we bring things from other states of awareness, whether it's timelines or worlds, into this world.
Yeah.
So when I came into this world, part of my journey when I picked my parents and I picked my life situation, stuff like that, was sometimes it was to be aborted. Sometimes it was to be abused as a child. Sometimes it was to have an accident, because those are all components of the experience. Like if
Mm.
if this is an experience that I chose, then I can start to reconcile. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're 1 years old, whether you're 100 years old. Why was that done for me?
Mm.
And how does that change me, or what do I become from it? Now you have two pathways. You have, oh, I'm a victim. This was done to me my whole life. That was it. And I talked about my whole life. Or because of that, I became this.
Yes. Yes. And too many people stay stuck in that victimized story and then they can't change, right? And they wonder why they're stressed out. Because if you're a victim, it's almost kind of like, would you agree that it's almost like you're like, I understand you have to tell the story at some point, like, and validate those parts. But wouldn't you say that when you're victimized, it's almost like you're giving your power away? Like you can't have the power to change if the control is out there, you know?
Yeah, victim means powerless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's only your perception. I can stay powerless by continuing to say I'm a victim. I was hurt. This person did this to me. Or I can regain the power by saying, because this person did this, I am this.
Mm.
Like, it's a dicey world. I've dealt with the most severe trauma that anybody. I've dealt with kids that have been kept in cages, that have
Oh,
been grown. I've dealt with stuff that you would never, ever, ever, ever begin to even believe could happen. And
wow.
I've seen it all, and I've worked with people in all different stories. And one of the things when I was at Mind Valley, I chose not to tell my story anymore. And
Mm.
part of it is that there's enough media and people and outlets that have heard my story and heard how I got here. But even at the point, even though I'm not emotionally attached to it, I still, every time I tell it, I bring it into frequency.
Oh, yes.
And you know what I did? You know what's funny? Because I'm at 29 degrees. So another 29 degree. Um, uh, I told her I wasn't going to tell my story. And she's like, no, no, it has to be told. So she went up and introduced me and she told it for me. And it was funny because we were sitting there, and one of my co-founders, Aisha, was sitting there saying, it's just so weird when somebody else tells your story. Because my story was part of what emotionally moved people. But again, there at some point, we got to let go of the story. Here's my story. I'm in New York. I did some great podcasts today. I met some awesome people. Some women flew up from Florida. I took a guy that I haven't seen in a while. I'm working with a really famous tennis player. This is my story. That's my story. That's what's happening. And tomorrow I'm going to Rhinebeck and I'm going to go teach at Omega. And then I'm going to go to Burning Man, Tulum, a big event in London. I'm going to go to Bali for an event. That's my story. And I choose to tell the forward version of my story because I'm just sick of the old story. The old story is just what got me here. How many times do I have to look at it?
Oh my God. Who wants to stop telling the old stories? Because I think that is so, I mean, just that alone would be life changing to stop telling the story of where you've been, or even where you are, and start telling the story of where you want to go. That's how I started, and that's how I started manifesting these things. It's like, well, what if I didn't want my story to be drama or tragedy? What if I wanted it to be like a comedy and joyful and playful? And I started to rewrite my story. So, Garry, I know you're short on time, and I cannot even tell you how grateful I am to have you come on here. I know everyone in the chat is like, "Oh my God, I love you, Garry. Please come on live more. You must have done this. You must have went live a lot before,
5 days a week, 400 episodes during the pandemic to help people out.
right?"
Just that's how we built the worldwide connection to community. Is that 5 days a week for 2 years, came out and just helped people.
Oh my God. Well, I can tell there's so many people that are here just loving on you. And so I just have one final question from my audience, and your audience and whoever's listening. So now we know how to remember, right? Just listening to this podcast alone is life changing. Telling a new story, and our ability just to feel whatever we need to feel, like the most important thing is to feel safe to feel so we can experience a different reality. Because as we change, you're saying the outside world can't stay the same. Yes.
Right.
And so, what is there with those practices? Is there one move you could give to us, like right now, that we could just do? That I mean, these are all life changing. You've
Yeah.
already laid it
Let's
down,
let's let's just let's just let's just solve the problem. A lot of people go like this and then they go across here. I will not do that because that disconnects my head from my heart.
oh,
So if you're religious, I'm sorry if that's what you do, but energetics trump religion. Okay.
okay.
Take your right hand, put it on your heart. Take your left hand, put it on your head. Close your eyes. Everybody do this with us. Breathe in through your mouth 3 times with me. 2, 3. Say thank you, heart.
Thank you, heart.
Thank you, body,
Thank you, body,
for holding all of this pain and trauma
for holding all this pain and trauma
until I was ready to do something about it.
till I was ready to do something about it.
I'm ready to do something today.
I'm ready to do something today.
Breathe in through your nose to your head. 2, thank you, brain,
Thank you, brain,
for holding it all together
for holding it all together
until we were ready to listen to the heart again.
until we were ready to listen to
We're ready to listen to the heart
ready to listen to the heart.
and stop telling stories.
Stop telling the stories.
Breathe in through your mouth again. 2, 3. I'm ready to let go of what's not serving me.
I'm ready to let go of what's not serving me.
Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3. I'm ready to follow my heart.
Ready to follow my heart.
Love myself.
Love myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
That's it.
Well, I haven't cried on my podcast with anyone else like this, so.
Well, Carolyn,
Oh,
this has been a journey. Um,
yes.
yeah, this has been a journey. You contacted me about this time in 2021, and
I'm
every
so grateful for
every every couple of years, every year or so, you pop up a couple of times, and
yes.
we got to spend some time together a year ago in May.
Yes, in Austin.
Yeah, and
Yes.
so is this part of your journey? I've
Yeah.
just been watching your journey of transformation, and
Oh,
I'm here constant, and you just keep popping in and out when you're ready.
hmm. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you came on today. I don't know. Are you guys feeling your heart opens? Yes, I know. I know I'm feeling it. Thank you, Gary. And I will make sure to send a link for your 15-minute reset to my people so they know how they can start this reset and
Yeah,
start using these practices. And I'll send this recording too. This has just been so heart opening. And I'm so grateful for you. I know it sounds strange and I say it often, but I've known you even before 2021, I just feel it in my heart. Like we've known each other for much longer than that.
Yeah.
And I feel that. So thank you. Thank you so much.
See you, Carolyn.
All right. Bye, Gary. Bye, guys.
Bye.